Hello and welcome to The People's Health. I am your host, Elizabeth Seninde, and today my guest is Mirjam Janse.
Right on.
Hello, thank you for coming today.
It's a pleasure.
I think it's very interesting what you do and how you describe it. So I don't want to introduce you, I want you to introduce yourself and let people know what you do.
I'm Mirjam Janse from Amsterdam. I'm Dutch, so my English is not perfect. And I'm a healer and a clairvoyant and a visual artist. And I'm trying...
Could you explain to some people what a clairvoyant is?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I'm not only clairvoyant, I'm a clairknower, which means that I don't look at things with my third eye, what people are familiar with, like she can see the dead, or she can see the illness, or she can see whatever kind of energies. But I know energies, and I know presence, and I know disturbances. And it's very funny, because the first time that happened, I thought, everybody knows these kind of things. Why, what's special about this? And only after a while, I noticed that for some people, the doors to knowing and to seeing and to hearing the right information are closed.
So is this something you've had your entire life, your whole life? Or?
Yes, I guess so. And it took me a while to notice. I just started remembering things that happened at school. Like, people coming up to me in school and say, Mirjam, we're having a quarrel back there. Can you explain why we're fighting? And I explained to them why they had a fight. And I thought, but that's weird. I mean, this is not a normal way to behave as a schooler. So that...
It seems like they accepted your gift as well, though, the people that asked you for help.
Yes, and as a matter of fact, that surprised me afterwards. I thought, wait a minute, what happened there?
Yeah.
But the funny thing is, at that time, nobody said anything, and it was until later that I discovered I could help people with giving them some insight in what kind of blocks they were having, what kind of traumas caused them problems, or I learned about attachments and entities and about polluted spaces and things like that. So I started working with that.
So what is your main job at the moment? What you do?
Researching energy, working with it, educating people, and getting to know myself much better.
And you're able to clear?
Yes, I'm able to clear, but it's taking part in life which makes me able to clear and do all the other stuff as well. And that's why I'm so fascinated. I'm really it's such a pleasure to be here, because I think all the people are watching. I don't know where they're watching from right now, but that's okay. They should be aware of the fact that they can all do what I do when they open the doors. So they can all take care of their own health, their own environment, and have an influence, a positive influence on what's happening in the world. And that's a big jump, but I think it's pretty good if you just know that you can really start in yourself, in your own place, and work from there, and just get to know yourself a little bit better.
Yeah,
so you can know what your abilities are. And to me, everybody is a healer.
Yeah.
I mean, if you say nice words to somebody, or you touch them, or you give them good food, or you say, okay, I have a really nice place, you're welcome at my place, you're healing somebody else as well. So healing
comes in many different ways and forms.
Absolutely, and it's I don't like to mystify all those kind of things. And as I say, I'm a psychic or a clairvoyant. So people go, oh, can you see everything about me? Oh my gosh, now I'm really into trouble. I said, no, it only happens when somebody asks me to look at them.
That's I think that's one of the things that frightened me about psychics before as well, is that I think that if I was around a psychic, then instantly they'll know everything about me, and and sometimes that's a little bit unnerving. But I'm glad that you can explain that it's not exactly like that.
No, it's not like that. Of course, you pick up kind of energies, like the energy in a room, or whether somebody is stressed, or whether they have whether they're grieving or something like that. You can pick up, like, wait a minute, what's going on? But you have to focus and tune into it to know where it's about.
Oh yes.
And I never do that without permission. You always ask for permission. You always protect the person, protect myself, and then tune in. So it never happens without permission.
Yes. We talk about sixth senses and people having abilities that they can't recognize, but yet when you walk into a room and there's been an argument that's going on or something, and then the argument is stopped, when you walk into the room you can still feel the tension, and you know something's gone down, and you might not be able to say exactly what it is, but you know something's not right. And I think that's got to do with the sixth sense, and that's got to do with feeling what's the energies that have been going on at the time. And when you walk into the room, you walk right into those energies, don't you? Yeah,
but the fascinating thing is, you walk in the room and you can sense there's been a fight. Somebody else walks in the room and doesn't feel anything. Also, it has to do with you sensing those things. So for some people, it's very important to sense what's going on in nature. For some people, it's very important to know what's going on with food or medicine. Or so we all have our specialities and our angle to go into this source of information. So it depends on the person as well. You know, and I noticed, I thought, you know, okay, I need a job. What am I? I'm a healer. You know, okay, but it's not. I'm not a healer because I like to research too much. I like to know what kind of healing you can give, where healing touches, you know, the health system that we work in. So that's really another area. So I'd like to bridge the things. And there are many topics right now. There's many things going on in the, let's say but you were talking about food before, like, you know, what kind of food we eat, that it has an influence on our health.
Most definitely. I mean, I read something about how I watched a documentary on water, and a scientist was freezing the crystallizations of water, and your emotions were having an influence on these crystals. And it made me think too, when, you know, all over history and like in the Bible and stuff, and they say that you should bless your food, you know. And it's like you never really know. I mean, if you're not a religious person, you don't really think, you know, why should I bless my food? But when you finally understand what your emotions actually do to the particles in front of you, and you're taking those particles into your body, then of course it makes sense to bless your food, you know?
It's the beautiful thing. We've just been talking recently about it, that we are made of water. We have a bag of water, a skin bag of water. It's what my teacher says. So, okay, we're made of skin and we contain the water, and just the bones are in there to build the structure. But you can imagine that if you've looked at pictures like how you can influence the structure of water just by intent, you can imagine how you influence your whole body just with your intent.
Just with your thoughts as well, you know. Absolutely. You might be sitting there on the bus just thinking about something negative, and you don't realize how it's messing up all the crystallizations in your body, and you're really making yourself unhealthy by having these negative thoughts.
But it goes beyond your body, so it goes beyond your skin, it goes into your emotional body, your mental body, your spiritual body. So you influence the whole body with your intent. And you can imagine that if you're sitting having this plate of food, you know, and you surround the plate of food with your protecting your energy and your intent, to say, I cannot have the intent, or sorry, not only in my body, but it's also around me. So I have the plate of food in my intent, my field of positive intent. Like, well, you're welcome there. You know, you can feed me now in the inside. You know, and it works, but it works between people as well. But it also works between you and your work. Like when I'm a healer, when I do a healing, I work with a person, and I connect to their field. And I let the universe do the healing. I mean, I'm not doing the healing.
A lot of people say that they don't use their own energy to do their healing. They actually let the universe's energy work through them.
I would be dead in a daytime. I mean, really. But the fun thing is, of course, that there's so much energy available if we let it go and let it flow. That's amazing. And we can do so much with it that we are far from using all the possibilities that we have. Working with energy.
I totally agree. One thing I'm very interested about with what you do is how you're able to clear entities from a house. And when you walk into a building...
You go right to the spicy bit.
It's one of my favourite topics. It is. What can I say? When you walk into a house, I mean, some people talk about feng shui. About where do you know about that?
Yes.
Can you talk about a little bit about that?
Well, it's feng shui is a way of creating harmony in your house or in your office or in your, let's say, your bedroom. I mean, for instance, a bedroom is a good example. You don't put your computer next to your bed. And it would be really nice to have all kinds of alarms and all kinds of pictures of people that you don't like to hang out with next to your bed, because they have an influence, okay? And I noticed this morning, I woke up and I was looking out of the window, I could see a tree, and I was like, oh, this is great. I can look at a tree while I wake up. That really makes my day, you know? And
I agree. When I wake up in the morning, I have a view of 2 great trees
good for you.
that are like my good friends now, because
yes,
I wake up every day looking at these trees. When I'm sad, the trees are still there and they're still waving, you know, in the wind. So for me, yeah, I do like trees.
Yes, me too. Oh, very much so.
But when I wake up, Monica goes into more detail in her show. She is a medium, but I started creating little post-its, because you know how much we are brainwashed in society. Every billboard we walk past, every TV program. So I created these little post-its, and I used to stick them around my house so that my brain was unconsciously being programmed by positive things. So even if I wasn't reading it, I know that my brain was taking it in. And I think this really did make a difference in my life. And my favourite one is, you exist because the universe wouldn't be complete without you.
Yes, I like that.
You too.
Yeah.
So that's really inspiring for me, and a few of my friends have done it as well, and I think everyone should get into that.
Yes. But there are very simple things to do to make you connect with the positive aspects in the outside world as well.
And we'll have to go into that right after the break, because we're just going into a break now. So we'll see you after the break.